G'day guys, welcome to the channel. My name's Matt and we are still on the old grasshopper. A little bit of excitement though. Zoom in over there. You can see Brad's found a bit of a wet spot. It was actually a spot, I was on the planter till about 11 o'clock or so last night, and there was a spot there I decided to leave, to wait till the daylight to see whether we could get much of it, but yeah, it is pretty deceiving. A bit of a silt patch there, so I think Phil's there with the 280 just gonna pull him out backwards hopefully. Hopefully it won't take much. Well, we're well over halfway through on the sowing on this, at the development block here on this section anyway. I will be doing a video of what's going on with the other half of the development block as far as when that gets sown. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, I'm ready when you are.
Well, have a look.
Yeah, righto on 3. 1, 2, 3. Yep, I'm out, thank you.
A bit of excitement for the day, it's always good. It is quite nice not being involved in something getting bogged, I will say that. Hey Phil, you reckon you should stay there? What's the chances of Brad diving head first straight into another patch?
Yeah, very high, that's why I'm staying here.
So for those that don't know the history, Brad is the prolific boggerer. I don't quite know what the word is for that, but he's the one that probably gets stuck the most, but Phil and I have been catching him, so we've probably held off on our criticisms of him lately. Phil did have to walk away from 2 machines in the one day because got stuck and couldn't get them out, but that's just sometimes the conditions we're working in. For those following along and watched the last vlog, I just sprayed everywhere before the planter, and now I've got to come back and spray everywhere after the planter. What we're putting down after sowing is a bit of a residual spray, which again I've explained it in a couple of videos, but basically just helps control the weeds before they come through. So yeah, it's just another tool that you can use to help control weeds. Well, it's another solid day of spraying. We've got 171 hectares done. I'm just running this last few dribbles out. We've got Brad just there, still on the planter. Looks like we're having some issues with it blocking up. There's pretty thick straw here. We'll see how we go. Once the dew hits on the straw, it might be tricky to get through, but we'll see how we go. And then it might be much the same. I might go on it tonight or just see what happens. Well, another absolute beautiful morning. It's actually been really nice having a few of these nice mornings in a row. It was we were starting to wonder whether the sun was going to pop out for a little while there, but it's looking really good. I am just coming out here this morning to take over from Brad. He got going earlier this morning, and we may even finish with the Boss planter today, so we'll see how that goes. I've just got a few new tines in the back. We're going to have to swap one over because with some of this newer country, even though it's been rock picked, there is the odd one that's pretty solid deep down, and yeah, obviously it's a bit rough on them still, so you just got to go really slow, and we haven't actually damaged too many, and if we had been going slower, we probably would have damaged even less. So Brad's just swapping that one over. All it is a pin that goes through there and you just pull it straight out, so it's very simple and easy. But what's been happening is, if I can pull this dirt off, anyway, I'll oh, this one. This is a new one, and the seed boot goes on here, and it's this bit here that just snaps off, which is where the point goes in, slides in there. So yeah, just when you hit a rock or something, there's a fair bit of force that just twists that back and it can shear that off. So that's what's happened there. You can buy those little loops and weld them back on, so that's what we're going to have to do. We have already had to do that to a few of them, so yeah, that's the joys of rocks. Well, we've got about 40 hectares left, and then we'll be finished this part, which will be very lovely. But where I am now is where we have been clearing, and I've been mentioning it in the last few videos, and that's a bit of a, you can sort of see a bit of the progression, but I wasn't involved in the initial clearing. Basically, Tiny 3 was here and pushed in the trees, the regrowth trees, pushed them all up, and yeah, ripped all the roots, which actually that spot just there, which you can barely see any sticks on it now, was ripped. That was in vlog number 82 towards the end. There was a video of Tiny 3 ripping that section there. So basically after that, the bad patches where there's sticks and things, yeah, we've been running it quite a few times over with the offsets, so that's the disc plough, and then we've hired some stick pickers. They've come in and picked it multiple times, just as each time you go over it, it brings up some more sticks, and yeah, it's really helped to get this get this basically to where we can sew into it. It may not come up, it may, just because it's been worked so much, it's pretty dry, it's hard, it's all of this, but even if you get the odd plant come up, it's still worth just getting something happening there. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I think this section here is a little bit over 10 hectares. So yeah, it's a fair bit of work just for 10 hectares, but there's 10 hectares that you couldn't farm before, which you can now, so that's, yeah, it's good. Well guys, that's it for the sewing at this section anyway. We do have a bit more to sew here at the development block, but we'll be using the AFM, which you can see there, and there is a good reason for that, which I will be explaining possibly in the next video, maybe in the next couple of videos. Yeah, explaining what's going on there. I just actually finished up a few headlands, and I did that patch where we had the bunker from last year, which there's still a bit of rotten grain on that, which yeah, nothing like that smell to wake you up. That is for sure. That's yeah, that's still pretty potent. So that just means we've got all the everything, the planter covered in that. Yeah, so that'll be fun to work on. I know I always say it's a lovely day, but it is actually another very lovely day. So you would have seen in a different video that this windmill has stopped windmilling, which is kind of annoying, but we had a solar pump sort of organised to go there, but obviously it's not here at the minute. I'm empty. I'm halfway through this second spray after we've sown, and I have to take all the pumping gear. So we've got the vat, the pump, and all the hoses and everything. So thankfully the chemical just comes in little 1 litre containers, so there's only like 6 of them I need to carry, so that's easy. But yeah, I'm gonna have to throw all this on the back of my ute, drive down to the other tank and set up there, come back, and then we'll have to just work out however I'm gonna get my ute back over there. We'll work that out later. But that's what's happening at the minute. Hello guys, we're chugging along. Well, we were chugging along. I've been having some pressure issues. Still not 100% certain what it is. I've checked out that filter there. That's a suction filter, so that everything coming from the tank goes through that before it gets into the pump. And you got this filter here is everything, the filter that filters everything going to the booms. Now, I had about an hour ago, it just was dropping pressure, so I couldn't actually apply the right rate that needed to be applied. Pulled up, checked that one, tried to undo that one, but I had too much of a full tank in there and it was just pouring out. I couldn't quite get to it. But in doing that, it must have, some material must have bypassed that filter, sent a heap of rubbish through the whole lines. So I've had to pull up at the end of each run and clean a heap of these nozzles. Thought I just got that sorted, and then the pressure dropped right off again. So I used this contour bank. I was actually a little bit more forward so I could have the back end up in the air, and then I undid that filter. It was pretty blocked up, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it might be. So we'll see if it fixes it, but I couldn't clean it 100%, which is not always a good thing, because now that I've half cleaned it, it might have loosened some material, which will probably send more material all through the nozzles. So we'll just see how that one goes. But it's one of those things. So anyway, we'll hop back up. We'll see if we can get the pressure up first, and then go from there. So got the pump on. That goes down there. There we go. So that must be part of the reason. I think probably what's happened, in good old hindsight, is sucking out the dregs, or the last bit of that tank down there since the windmill died. Must have had a bit of crud down in the bottom, and it just started yeah, sucking that through, which I didn't notice when I was putting it in, but filters don't lie. So anyway, we'll get back into it and we'll see if that is the problem. And it looks like I've got one just there. It's very hard to do. It is a bit blocked. One on the other side too. So I'll have to get out and investigate them. But fingers crossed that is all the issues we have. So if it'll focus, see right down in the middle there's a little bit of orange gunk. So that is our culprit. So that little speck there is our culprit. That's all it takes. Righto guys, to top it off, I'm making a mad dash back to the fuel tank. It just started to cough and splutter a little bit, so just to be on the safe side, I am bolting back, or at least be closer to it, so if I do have to walk. But yeah, I only had a little bit left there to do, and then I was going to be over this side anyway, but that's just, yeah, I thought I might be able to just make it, but that's just how it worked out. So anyway, we'll go fill up, and then I'll put out the rest of this load, and then we'll see what tomorrow brings. I think I'll be back on this tomorrow, it would seem. Righto guys, I picked a good time to start videoing. Wowzers. Well guys, I'm back on the sprayer this morning, and I've got about 3 loads to do, so should theoretically comfortably do that today, providing I don't have too many issues. I've just, while I had only water in there, I've just been yeah, just checking all the nozzles, getting them all, making sure they're right, and that, I think that issue has been solved, so let's hope, at least anyway. So what we're doing is, once this is sprayed, I'll probably be doing some other spraying on the rogator, so pretty boring stuff, but there'll be a bit of stuff going on out and about. So anyway, we'll probably leave the video here, at least, yeah, unless there's something really exciting happens, and we'll yeah, we'll catch you in the next one.